friends. Welcome to Soul Speakers Interview Series. I'm so excited to introduce you to the most amazing, incredible energy master, Qigong coach. She is so special to me, and I so appreciate it. And I get to play with her all the time. And I'm so excited that she is here sharing her gifts with you and with the world. Hello, Kim. Hello.
Hi, Susan. Thank you so much for having me. I so appreciate you, and I love playing in your playground as well. Hi, everybody.
I get to play with Kim all the time. She was in my summit recently, and it was so much fun. She is just a true gift to the world. So before we dive into the conversation, I just want to read her short little bio, if that's okay. Yeah?
Yeah, go ahead. Thank you.
Okay. So Kim has a lifelong calling for healing and energy arts, which she has woven into her practice she calls Kaizen Raizen, a fusion of mind, body, one modalities, including Qigong, yoga, meditation, hypnotherapy, Reiki, EFT, and law of attraction principles designed to raise consciousness and bring about higher levels of health, vitality, wellness in mind, body, and spirit on a continuous basis. She offers ongoing Qigong instruction, healing arts workshops, and serves as a life mastery coach. Her passion is her course entitled Journey to Your Sacred Self, where she guides women to reconnect to their true soul selves and come away with deeper levels of self-love, self-knowledge, self-compassion, and self-appreciation. It is her belief that when you master true self, love, and appreciation, you are of higher service, not only to yourself, but to others. Oh, that's so beautiful. And it's only just this small, tiny part of who you are. But you have been a student for a very long time, as am I, right? You have, done so much energy work and other modalities as well. So I have so many places that I could start. Why is it important at this time that people really connect to who they are, right? I'm going deep right away. Let's do it.
Well, why is it so important? I think with what we've gone through over this past few years, this past year especially, so much is coming to the surface, so much is bubbling up. And I think it's important for us to really connect with who we are at that deep soul level, because we have a role to play. We have a role to play not only for ourselves, but for mankind, I believe, in general. I mean, we are at a place where we can go two different ways. We could just take that deep dive down into despair and, negativity, or we could really embrace this time as the time to come together and to unite and to bring that level of consciousness to higher levels. And I think there's a calling, and there's so many more people now that feel called to do this. It's the awakening, right, Susan?
It is a great awakening. People thought it was in 2012, but we're in it right now, right? And it's almost like the earth and all of this stuff is getting purged, right? It's getting purged. And so our own stuff, our own fears, our own insecurity, our own, junk is also bubbling up.
Yes.
And so it's important that we don't stuff it down, right? Because like a jack in the box, there it goes again. Yeah.
That's a really good analogy. Yeah, yeah, that's true. And it's time individually, yes, and collectively, because we're not just individuals here, we're all connected. There's that quantum field where we're all connected. So we have a choice now as to what we're going to experience and share. Are we going to experience that lightness and that love and that joy, so that goes out into the quantum? Or are we going to experience the negativity and the fear and the division, so that goes out into the quantum? That's what I find so exciting, because that's an individual choice we can each make. And by each individual, the more people that make that choice to influence the consciousness, the collective consciousness for the good, that's just building and building. It's opening the space for more and more people to come to that realization that they can do that too. They can make that choice. They can make a difference for themselves and for mankind.
And that's how much we each matter in the chain of our connection, right? So it doesn't matter whether you are unemployed or employed or a CEO or a grocery store worker. We are all just as important to the whole, the collective. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Take that in, right? Let's take that in, everybody, because you are so important. You matter so much. You are connected to me. You are connected to Kim. You are us. We are you. We are one. And so, what we all choose to put out into the cosmos, out into the world, it matters. And that's what Kim is all about. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So
That's what lights me up.
that's what lights you up. And that's what you are very conscious of moment to moment, right? In the moment of now, and in the moment of now, in the moment of now, right? Because it matters.
It matters. And what's really cool is we get to make that choice. Once we become conscious of our thoughts and our emotions, we can make that choice in a heartbeat, and we can turn our mood from a negative to a positive. Now, that's not to say we don't have times where we're going through hard times and there's hardships, but there's always that opportunity to reach for that next higher feeling, to raise your emotional vibration, your frequency to that next higher feeling. And that's the key.
Yeah. So what I do, like when I get mad or upset with the situation, we're human, right? We're human too, even though we're so much more. But in this playground we call Earth, this is what we do when we get angry, we get upset. So I'll bathe in that for a little bit, and then I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna send love. I'm sending love. And so if all people do is with intention and humor, right? Send love out into the world, that so makes a difference. Would you say? Is that true?
Yes, Susan. How does that feel when you do that too? When you experience that changing, and you're changing then the emotions, the frequency that you're emitting, how does that feel?
I laugh just like I did now.
Yes. Yes.
Right? Which raises my vibration, and then I'm good to go.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fun. It's magical, and it's a practice that anybody that chooses to do so, that's going to really make a difference in their lives.
Right? So wherever you are on your journey, you can always choose to step out of what you're doing, to make a shift, to make a change. And so once you realize that, it gets easier to make that shift.
Yes, yes. I mean, let's face it, sometimes when you're in the thick of it, when you're in that hardship, it's tough. It's really just retraining your brain to, number one, become quickly aware of what direction you're going in, and then making that choice.
Yeah. Do you remember do you remember it, Charlie and the Chocolate, Willy Wonka and the Willy Wonka, whatever that movie is.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and the girl ate that thing that turned her into a blueberry. You're turning violet, right? So just imagine who you're angry with turning into a blueberry, right? Just in your vision, just pop it.
I love that. That's fun.
Right? We, you know, in the heaviness, because we've had a lot of heavy stuff to deal with, don't lose sight of that bright light that you are in truth. Yeah.
Yes, and discover that. I mean, fully discover, embody that light. You know, dive into it, experience it, explore, discover. You know, hey, what's more here to me? You know, what am I? Who am I? And just really focus on coming to know who you are at your soul self.
Yeah. Right. And obviously, I'm sarcastic and very funny. um,
Yes, that's what we love about you.
but to just find the joy, because in truth, even those things seem heavy out into the world. I think this is important to talk to. This is where I'm being guided to go. Even though things look heavy and look scary and things feel like everything's off balance right now,
Yeah.
that's only what we're being shown in the world. But there's so much more love and beauty and goodness and excitement and joy and happiness that the news doesn't focus on, right? But
Right.
there's but so what we see, all that anger and everything in our collective, right? In our collective, that's just such a small fraction of what is truth. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. There's so many people out there that are doing so many good things, coming from the heart, and doing their work in their own way to make a difference in the world. And you're right, the news doesn't usually focus on that.
Right, because they're going to go where people are fighting or people are angry or something's going haywire, right? Because that's what sells newspapers. That's what, they feed the fear. They feed the fear. But in truth, there's so much more love in the world. And so when you do what you teach in your trainings to really just connect to that, right? Connect to yourself, connect to that part of you that knows the truth, that not everything you see is real. Okay, that just trust, right? How do we trust what we don't see?
Well, that's really where you go within. That's the self-discovery. That's when you're integrating the body, mind, and the spirit. That's when you come to the place of faith. You come to working with your higher self, with source, and you feel that coming through, and then you admit that out. It's a matter of faith. It's a matter of intention. It's a matter of making that decision, looking for the good in life. Like you said earlier, the nose is dreary, but look for the good in life. Look for the things that light you up. Yeah, look for the people that are out there doing the beautiful things that are helping, you know, humanity, children, animals. Just look at nature. I mean, nature in itself is so much to be grateful for. Simply stepping outside and experiencing that.
Yeah.
It's the evidence is all around us if we allow ourselves to see it.
Right. If we look for the negative, we'll find the negative. If we look for the positive, we'll find the positive. And that's just how this whole crazy experience works, right?
Well,
Yeah.
yes, and that's so true. And I know that you're like I am, Susan. I know that we're always looking for the positive, and we always appreciate all that there is. But just the simple act of appreciation, you're sending that signal out. So you're drawing more things to yourself that you can appreciate.
That's so true. That is so true. And for the audience, think about when something supposedly bad, right, happened to you. Like when I was bedridden, when I was in it, I thought it was bad, right? But then because that happened, something else was better for you, right? So I wouldn't be a coach if I never was bedridden. So that horrible experience became the best experience of my life. There's always a gift in every situation. And so I know that you understand that, right? And so how does somebody that feels that the world is not friendly, how do you think that they could maybe look at it from a different perspective?
Through expansion rather than contraction. When you're living in the negativity of what's going on around us, we're contracting, and we're becoming fearful, and we're shutting ourselves down. But by opening yourself up, by expanding, by looking for those things that are good in the world, by opening your heart center, which you can certainly do with the healing and energy arts techniques, by connecting to spirit, by developing your faith, by optimism, by appreciation. All of these things expand by feeling more love, just by feeling in your heart more love and asking, show me where there's more love. Show me the way. Show me how to find the good. And just listen to that. And that's creating an expansion, and that's opening the doorway for more of that to come. You have to take the first steps. You have to open yourself up. You have to be willing to expand. You have to want. You have to ask, and you will be shown.
Asking it is given is a very real thing.
Yes, it certainly is. And notice, you've got to pay attention. So you've got to go to that quiet spot, ask, and listen to what comes through. You'll get answers.
Yes. If you ask disempowering questions, though, you're going to get disempowering answers. If you ask empowering questions, you'll get empowering answers. And so isn't that our lesson that we really need to learn? It's like we just said, if you look for the good, you're going to find the good. If you look for the bad, you're going to find the bad. If you ask, why am I so stupid?
Yes.
All these past reasons where you made mistakes are going to come flooding in. But if you ask, what is the solution? That'll come as well. Do you agree?
Yes, absolutely. I love the way that you're framing that. So you're moving from the negative to the positive. Okay, here's the negative, here's the positive. Don't dwell down here. That's not working. Go for the positive. It's a practice that takes time to rewire your brain to do that. But once you do, you'll notice a change in your patterns. You'll notice a change in the way you think, and you're no longer thinking the positive. What's possible here? What's possible here rather than, oh, dang, this happened again,
Right. This always happens to me. Oh, life is so bad and my boss is horrible and da, 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 da. But you know what? Your boss is being horrible because your angels are trying to tell you you're not supposed to be there anymore, right?
Maybe time to get out. Yes, right. Yeah.
Right? So how much abuse are you willing to take? That's the only question.
And listen to that. Listen to what, sit with that and listen to what your inner knowing tells you about that. It's just spending time with yourself, getting to know yourself, opening up to all that you are, all that you are.
Right. So you help your clients find alignment and be connected, truly connected to who they are in truth, because the only truth really is within. Yeah.
Right. We're not just these bodies, right? We are these containers. This body is a container. It's part of us, but it's not all that we are.
Right. It's our meat suit. It's the disguise we chose when we decided to play on this earth.
Right. And how lucky are we that we get to do that? These bodies allow us to experience everything we can experience on earth.
Yeah.
This is a blessing to be here. And why not make it the best that it can be while we're here?
Yeah.
Don't settle. Don't settle for, what is. Look for what is possible, what can be.
Right. And then once you try to see what may be, allow yourself to expand even more, because you are so infinite. You are infinite. You are everything. You are connected to all there is. You are all there is. And so when you embrace that truth, oh, life is sweet, right?
Absolutely. Opening up to that expansion and to that possibility of, what is.
What is? What do I want? How do I want to feel? And just play in the energy of life and know that no matter what is happening, your soul self is enjoying every minute of it, because it's all about expanding. It's all about growth. It's all about learning, expanding, self-acceptance, self-love, which is what you teach. That's what you do, right? You help people remember.
Yeah. Yep. Remember, there's so much more to us than what's on the outside and what the appearance is. We have so many gifts within us if only we open up and allow those to come through.
Yeah, I always joke, right? Like when I had my reawakening, I'm like, I went to sleep. I was like, I went to sleep on 22 pills in a pain patch, and I woke up infinite, right? I woke up smart. I'm like, because in that experience, I connected to that truth. And so we have the power within us. And so what you help people do is connect to their own inner power, their own inner self-love, all of it, understanding that everything is within. And so I love that you do that, because once people understand that and they're in alignment, mind, body, spirit, life is your oyster, right? Life is your playground, and it becomes easier. But you must fill your cup first.
Yeah, life becomes easier, more joyful, you're more optimistic. It's exciting. There's just so much possible. You just feel so, it's that expansion. And that expansion, I feel it in my heart center, and it just opens everything up. And it's just something that you really ought to be curious about,
Yeah.
because there is so much more to us. And why Why not? Why not live at our fullest potential? Why not live with our full selves, integrated body, mind, and spirit? Why not?
Right. So you teach people to live from the inside out versus the outside in, right?
Yes, that's a good way to put it. Yes.
Right. So you have this awesome program called Journey to Your Sacred Self. Do you want to just explain a little bit? I know it's hard to explain because you really have to experience it, but I know that you teach the method of Kaizen Rising, right? Do you want to explain that?
Well, Kaizen rising is a principle that I like to live by. Kaizen means continuous improvement, and the rising to me is just like that spiral on up. You know, rising to higher frequencies, higher vibrations, living in the higher frequencies of love, joy, and optimism, just continually expanding. The course that I really love is the one where it's Journey to Your Sacred Self. And that's where, we start with just integrating body, mind, and spirit. We're not just a body. For years, I didn't know that. I just thought that I was a body, and I was living that way. And then when you integrate body, mind, and spirit, you come to fully appreciate your body, but you know that that's not just who you are. You come to know that you're deeper than that. You've got that soul spirit, that connection to source within. And you come to love that. You come to love yourself at a different level because you know yourself at a different level. You see yourself. You acknowledge, wow, I'm not just this body. There's so much more to me than this.
Yeah, you're not that flawed person that you think you are.
And you come to appreciate yourself for who you are.
Your
And
quirks.
and you could laugh at it, right? You come to laugh at yourself. And what does that do? That just creates more expansion. And that just opens your heart for more love and joy. And then when you start connecting with your soul self, when you start receiving that guidance, when you start to really get it, yes, I'm on this earth, but I may be here for a reason. And that reason is for expansion. That reason is to share joy. And that reason is to experience love and interact with people and nature and animals and just continue that beautiful experience.
Yeah. Your job is to just find the joy. That's your job, right? And so I I love that I now accept myself for who I am, my sarcasm, my quirkiness, my flaws, the fact that when I bake, yes, flour is on the ceiling. I don't know how it gets there, right? But but in this time where we are in the most major shift that we have ever experienced on this earth, right? We are in this major shift of being able to, where it might have taken you, 30 minutes to feel connected before, now it takes 5, right? So the our connection to who we are in truth is much stronger, and our ability, we all have the gift of intuition. We all have the gift of receiving divine guidance, right? And so now it's easier. It's easier to it's easier to connect to that. It's easier to distinguish between the ego and an intuitive hit, right? So as we're shifting, as the energies are shifting and the vibration of the earth is raising and rising, the possibilities are infinite, would you say?
Yes, Susan. I used to think years ago that there were these special people that were able to connect and that were able to have intuition, and I wasn't that special person. I've now learned that we all can do that.
We
We
all do that.
we just make the decision and then allow it. You have to allow it to happen. Invite it, ask for it, and allow it. And meditation is one of the easiest and quickest ways to get there. I'm a huge
Yes.
fan of meditation, as I know you are too.
Yes, and a lot of people, and maybe people that are watching this interview, I've had so many people say, I don't have time to meditate. I don't have time to meditate, right? But your life would be so much easier if you meditated. So there's many ways to meditate. Would you agree?
Yes. I think that for some people, it's really hard to meditate. I was one of those that I didn't know how to meditate. It seemed to me like, I'm not going to sit there for all that time. That seems silly. I don't have time for this. And there's many doorways into meditation. I mean, some people have a hard time quieting their mind. So for them, guided meditations are very beneficial, especially at first.
And that's how I started when I was flat on my back on 23 pills and pain patch. I started with guided meditation with frequency. Frequency music really helped me heal as well. So you can be flat on your back and just allow, right? Allow yourself to receive the guided meditation. I receive most of my downloads in the shower, as people know. My clients like laugh at me because I show up all the time with wet hair. I'm like, I'm sorry, the downloads were awesome. But so you can meditate doing dishes, you can meditate on a walk, on a run, whatever you're doing where you just kind of quiet your mind and zone out. You're in a meditative state, which means that you're in the receiving state.
Yeah, beautifully said. It happens for me quite frequently in my morning walks, and the information just comes through.
Yeah, right. So think about when you're in that allowing state and you help your clients open up to receive the guidance. Yes.
Yes, and I do use guided meditations.
Which is very powerful. Yeah. So, so with people, things are opening up and people are getting back to being busy again and all of that stuff. What would you say is the most important thing that people do on a daily basis, aside from meditation, that can help them achieve more peace, more joy?
I think that being in alignment, just consistently strive to be in alignment. And what I mean by that is being in alignment with spirit, body, mind, and spirit, coming from heart center. With that comes awareness. I think awareness is probably the number one thing to help keep us on track.
So everybody has a spiritual team. Do you believe that?
I certainly do, yes.
Whether you're aware of them or not. So,
Right.
so in the past, people have taught that you have to go through all these ritualistic kind of things to connect to your spirit guide or your higher self, but you don't. It's just through intention. Like, hello, my spirit guides, I want to connect. What I do every single day is I say, good morning, my guides and angels. Thank you for being with me today. And boom, I'm connected. Right? So it doesn't, so, you don't have to get a meditation pillow and hold your thing like that and say, and, have chimes singing in the background and candles lit and all of that. You don't have to do that.
Yeah, I agree. Simple. What is the phrase you use a lot? Keep it simple, sweetheart.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. Keep it
Yeah,
simple
just
successfully.
that, just
Nice.
that.
I like yours though. Keep it simple, sweetheart. I love that. Um, but so I don't know why people, leaders have in the past said, you got to light a candle and have a 3-inch pillow and you got to be at the top of your house because you're closer to God there. So just through intention, just begin to connect. And I love your program because once they go through this and they get used to these ways, having the experience of these ways to expand them and align them and open them up to receive all the amazing goodness that life has to offer, that their life becomes easier.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I mean, first and foremost, because of your relationship with yourself, you transform your relationship with yourself to one of love and appreciation.
Yeah. And we were never taught to love ourselves.
No, really the first step, and then you just go from there. Everything else just deepens and expands.
And I had a really hard time with this one because I thought I loved myself. I thought I did, right? I was rocking it. I had a great career. I was moving and grooving and had lots of amazing friends. But I learned that I didn't love myself. And that's how I became bedridden. Because, when I was hurting, I'm like, I don't have time for this. Right? Suck it up. I didn't give myself the love. So when I realized that I didn't love myself and I had to begin to love myself, like that was hard. So I had to start as simple as what can I love about myself? That's how I started.
I love that you shared that, Susan, because I think very few of us are aware that we don't love ourselves. It's kind of a foreign concept when you think about it, with our upbringing anyway. And we can be very cruel to ourselves, in mentally and physically and emotionally, right? So
Right.
I think just again that awareness, just becoming aware. Wow, okay, this doesn't feel good.
Right. And because I have cerebral palsy, I felt like I had to prove that I could do anything. And so any sign of weakness to me was not acceptable. Right? Like, so I was hurting, suck it up, buttercup, and get to work.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
But that's not love. That's not love, people.
No,
Okay.
no, that's not. I mean, would you do that to your child or your caretaker or even your pet? No, no.
Sometimes because it's like, I'm sorry, honey, you don't have a fever, so go to school because mama's got to go to work, right?
Well,
But
yes,
we still, if they really had a fever, we give them love. But we were never taught to love ourselves. It's like, that's like a foreign concept right?
yeah, that was exactly what I was going to say. It was a foreign concept. It just was something that was what? You
Right.
know,
And if when we're growing up, we're like, oh, I'm going to take a me day, it would be like, what?
yeah.
Like, what do you mean a me day? No such thing as a me day back then. Yeah.
Yeah, we deserve our own tender, loving self-care.
And the thing is that if we do that, if we give ourselves that permission to pay attention to ourselves and give ourselves self-love and connect to our heart and do all the things that you teach in your course, that your family and everyone else is so much better off because you are so full.
Yes. Yes. And as you were saying that, I just got this vision of nurturing a plant. If you nurture a plant and you give it love and care and you feed it the proper things and nurture it, it's going to flourish. Well, how good are we at nurturing our own selves?
Right.
Whereas if we do, we're going to flourish. And as you said, when we flourish, we're much better able to help those around us to flourish as well.
And nourish, right? Just like a plant. It's like that nourishes us. You don't say to a plant, sorry, I watered you last week.
I don't have time to water you now.
Right? You received your quota for the month.
Yeah.
And so I love how we have shifted. We have shifted into this space of recognizing the importance of self-care, self-love, self-acknowledgement, and understanding the power within that, because we are all connected. When we're a healthy flower, when we're a healthy plant, it's better for the garden.
Yes, absolutely.
That's weird. I'm turning into like one of those philosophers. But anyway, so I'm going to put all the links for people to connect with you, and also you have a gift. I'm going to put that link with this video as well. You can learn more about Kim. She is phenomenal. Yeah, I'm so blessed that I get to play with her all the time. So you're going to want to be in her community and have the experience of her. And when her program is ready, give yourself that gift. Give yourself the gift of taking her program, because not only will you be better for it, but so will your family, so will everyone in your life, because we have learned over these last years that when we fill our cup, everyone benefits. Yeah. So what would you like people to take away from this conversation, Kim?
Just to go within and give yourself the gift of the expansion, of reaching for that joyful love expansion that's available to each of us. Doing so, you're making that choice to not only help yourself, but the collective, humanity, one another, our families. Light up, lighten up, lighten
Yeah,
up, lighten up from within.
the key to everything, to all joy and all happiness, lies within us. It's not out there.
Yeah.
It's in here.
So nourish that light within your heart.
Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. I'm so grateful to you for coming on here and sharing your wisdom and your gifts. I so appreciate who you are and everything you bring to this world. So grateful. So thank you so much.
Well, Susan, thank you so much. And I'll have to mirror that back to you. I'm grateful for what you bring to this world and what you help people to shine their light. And I want to thank you for that.
It's kind of my thing, right?
Yep, and you do it well.
Thank you. All right, you guys, I love all of you. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe, share, like, comment, ask questions. If you have any questions, put them in the comments and we'll be happy to answer them. Thank you for being here. And yeah, I love you all. So enjoy. Bye.
Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.